So clearly, this isn't perfect weather, but the show must go on. You know, the past few months, Maxus has been teasing this car, the Maxus G50. And in a subtle way, they were kind of hinting that this was going to be the first direct competitor to the car that moved the nation, the Toyota Innova. So, what do you think, Paolo?
Well, Nix, I think everyone's aware of that, how it was teased as the Innova killer, some sort. But as soon as I saw the car driving up to me, once I got inside the car, I didn't see much similarity. It was like comparing apples and oranges. They were so different. Each car has its own pros and cons.
Yes, so if you want to find out which is the apple and which is the orange, stick around to find out. Now that we have both cars, we found out that these cars were different. And I think one of the biggest ones is that this is a gasoline engine and this is a diesel engine. So what does this come with?
It comes with a 1.5-liter turbocharged and intercooled engine with a 7-speed dual-clutch transmission.
And then this one comes with a 2.8 diesel engine. It's also turbocharged, you know, the double overhead camshaft, the type of engine that Filipinos love. But I gotta say though, we were surprised about this one. If this is a body on frame, because this shares the same platform as the Fortuner and the Hilux, this one's actually a unibody. So this means that this inherently is a more stable ride.
It was very smooth. It didn't feel like it was working too hard.
You've driven both cars.
Yeah.
What do you have to say?
For my daily drive in the city, I would prefer the Maxus more. It has a very smooth ride, well compared to the Innova. The steering is a bit on the light side. So in the urban roads, this was perfect because I can actually change lanes. I can make a right turn, left turn with just one finger.
That's how light it is.
That's how light it was. But then when we got on the expressways, I was looking for a bit of a stiffer feel.
Which
so
I
I didn't really feel the road too much as I went on higher speeds.
Okay, and then for the Innova, what was your impression?
It's a proven car. Like, everyone knows what an Innova is. I enjoyed it more driving on the expressways because I really felt the road.
It does inherently have a stiffer steering compared to this one. And I'm not sure if it has to do like more on the engine being gasoline or on the dual clutch transmission, but the power delivery is more of a scalpel. Like you can really tune to the power that you want and need. While this one, like you might have a little more difficulty. This is more of a sledgehammer. Yeah, sure, it has the torque of a diesel engine, but then when you're trying to apply power, there can be a bit of a guesswork. Like you really have to feel it in. That's why when it comes to drivability, I think this has an upper hand when it comes to comfort and the driver part. So exterior-wise, if you look at it strictly by the numbers, these cars are really similar, even up to the wheelbase. But when you see it in person, it's pretty evident that this one really maximizes the space that it's confined in, while this one takes advantage of the ride height in order to be able to traverse better when it comes to rough roads.
Yeah, right now we're in a bit of a rough road, not too much, but we were saying earlier, oh, the Innova can probably take this more confidently than this one. So what I liked also about the rear seats is that it's very spacious. For the legroom and the headroom.
You can see the implementation. Like this has a lot more ride height compared to this. So they're able to space it out.
And compared to other MPVs I've tried, this probably has one of the bigger spaces.
Let's talk about the interior and equipment.
Any car manufacturer can slap in soft touch material on the dashboard, but for me, it doesn't automatically make it premium.
Yeah.
How do you implement it in the car? So one thing in relation to that was the 12.3-inch infotainment display.
Oh yeah.
Anyone can put in a big screen. But it was impressive how the resolution was very crisp and clear. It was very responsive. So it doesn't have Apple CarPlay, it doesn't have Android Auto, but
neither does this.
Yeah, but you know, I wouldn't expect it to be there because it's very well packed. It has Bluetooth, it has 3 USB ports, 2 in the front, 1 at the back. It has electronic parking brake, auto hold also. Aside from that, sure, a lot of cars these days, they have rear aircon vents, but this one has its own controls and it has its own digital display.
Well,
so
this has aircon controls also, but not as good as this. For the Innova, it's more of the button type, so it's not as high-tech as this one. But what I like about the Innova is that it feels like a more holistic package. The wood trimmings, the mood light, even the seats, it's clear that Toyota really designed this to go up a class. When the previous Innova was more utilitarian, at the end of the day, the technologies that it comes with and how it responds to you really makes a difference. So if you ask me which is more premium in design, I'd say Innova. But you ask me which feels more premium, I'd say this one. Yeah, the Maxus G50 for sure. Looking at the interior of this car, surprisingly, the versatility of how you can deploy the seats, this one seems to be more spacious, which makes it more utilitarian that way.
Yeah, because with the third row of the Innova,
Yeah, the seats like go on the sides, which consumes space at the end of the day. This one folds flat.
so you can put big boxes on it.
Yes.
The second row doesn't fold completely flat compared to the third row seat,
Yeah.
but
It's better than the Innova because the Innova, like
manageable.
the captain seats can't go anywhere.
Yeah.
This one sort of even folds flat.
Yeah. Unless you're getting the lower variants of the Innova.
That's true, that's
You
true.
get the bench type.
Yeah. And I guess though, the utilitarian part of this car, I think it's more to do with the engine. You know, they have similar horsepower, but this has 80 pound-feet of torque more, which means that if you're really carrying stuff, you want to be stuck with this one.
Yeah.
If you know you're just carrying like light boxes or groceries or stuff like that, and you need more of the space versatility, the Maxus G50 wins that department. But if you know you're going to be carrying heavier stuff, I think you're better off with something like this, or a lower variant of this one.
The Innova probably sets the bar for what an MPV should be like.
Yeah.
Because MPVs back then, they were just very utilitarian. They didn't have much in it.
And there weren't many actually to
There
begin
weren't many.
with. You only had a few choices, but
I
now
think around 3 choices
Yeah,
only. But now, every mainstream brand has their own version of an MPV. And it's a mix of many kinds of features. Like, you can have it as your only car and you'll be fine.
if you're gonna buy either of these cars, it's hard to go wrong. This is the part where you really have to look on what you need in the car. Sorry for the pun, but so that you can maximize what you really need and you can get most out of the car. To the buyers out there that think that there's still a competition between these two, but like clearly, like we kind of showed that they're actually apples and oranges.
Yep.
Fruit-wise, this may be more of the grape, this is maybe more of the blueberry. For you, like if you're gonna talk to the buyer, what would you tell them about these two cars?
MPVs, especially in the ASEAN region, they were made to be very versatile vehicles. So they could be fleet cars for companies, they could be commuter cars, and they could be family cars.
Yes.
So when buying an MPV, you really have to look at what your purpose is for.
Yeah,
right?
yes.
So if you're someone who's a bit more utilitarian, you go to the provinces more often every weekend, maybe you go for the Innova,
Yeah, probably me.
right?
Yes.
That's you. Yeah, with your camera gear and everything.
Yes.
But for me, as someone who stays more in the city, at most I would go to the beach, I would lean more on taking the Maxus. Because if you're stuck in traffic, you would want all the goodies on this one. Like the leather seats, the big headroom, the legroom.
Yeah.
A lot about it screams more of minivan rather than MPV. The only difference is that rather than sliding doors, this is a typical door only here, over here.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah.
That's what makes it more affordable, I guess. So this one's like more of errands, more of like, I know where I'm going 90% of the time. But if you have a good chunk of your driving that you don't know where you're going, or you don't know if the terrain's gonna be good, this proved itself as really more of an MPV.
I agree.
And the price difference is big. If this is 1.3 million and it's almost 1.7, that's almost 400,000 difference.
So now I would understand the difference in pricing. You're really comparing two different cars.
So just want to say sorry, like even we were hoping that this is going to be like a head-to-head battle, but in driving these cars, we really found that these were two different entities trying to fill the full spectrum of MPV/minivan, that segment. So it's good times. So if you're looking for this kind of a vehicle, now you have options. Then that's the best part about it. You don't have to settle anymore. The choices that you have can now adjust to you. Thanks for watching this Comparo. I'm sorry that, it's not the fight we were looking for. But, if you're watching this on Facebook, like the page. And if you're watching this on YouTube, think of subscribing. If you like the video, give us a thumbs up. It helps us a lot. Take care, guys. And Toyota Avanza passes by. That's the best of both worlds. Gasoline and sort of an Innova.
That's a blue.
Just so you know, the dog was watching you a while ago.
Really? That's cute.
He just kind of walked by.
So not only is C Magazine friendly to humans, it's friendly to animals. So click subscribe.